Resident Evil 3 Remake is here to deliver a thrilling, edge-of-your-seat ride through the apocalypse. If you're looking for action-packed survival horror, this one has it all. Imagine surviving in a city that's literally falling apart around you while an unstoppable, terrifying force is on your tail. That's the vibe here, and it doesn't let up for a second. One of the coolest things about this remake is how it takes the original game's concept and brings it into the modern era. The game keeps all that tension from the classic, but it dials up the action with more cinematic moments and dynamic combat. No more slow and steady sneaking around the zombies. Now, it's all about fast, thrilling combat with your heart racing as you face off against a whole range of creepy creatures. And of course, the most iconic part of this experience is that terrifying nemesis who's constantly on your heels. He's the ultimate stalker, popping up at the most unexpected times, pushing you to keep moving and keep thinking fast. You can't just sit there and wait for your moment to strike. He's always coming for you. The environments are detailed and immersive, making you feel like you're truly inside a decaying raccoon city. It's one of those games that keeps you constantly aware of your surroundings, checking every corner and rethinking every strategy. You'll need all the resources you can get, whether it's ammo, health, or even just a moment of peace to figure out what to do next. Cyberpunk 2077 is an absolute whirlwind of a game. Picture this, you're in a neon-lit, futuristic city where the line between human and machine is so blurry, you might as well throw a wrench in it and call it a day. The city, full of chaos and endless possibilities, is the perfect playground for a game that's all about choices, freedom, and crazy combat. Right from the start, you're dropped into a sprawling world that's alive with activity. There's always something happening, from high-speed chases to shady deals, and everything feels packed with detail. Whether you're walking down the street or zipping through the city in a slick car, it's a world that keeps pulling you in. But what really stands out is how the game gives you the freedom to approach situations however you want. Want to sneak through a mission, hacking everything in your path? Go for it. Feel like going in all guns blazing? You can totally do that too. The beauty of it all is how customizable your approach is, with each playthrough feeling a bit different based on the decisions you make. The combat? Oh, it's intense. Whether you're engaging in tight gunfights or using cool cybernetic powers, there's no shortage of ways to take down enemies. Each weapon and piece of tech you get your hands on has its own little flair, and there's something satisfying about mixing and matching your gear to find what works best for you. You can even get into hacking. There's a real sense of power when you can shut down security systems or take control of enemy tech from a distance. Prey is a game that combines a bit of everything: action, strategy, survival, and a whole lot of mystery. It's set in a space station, but it's not your typical futuristic utopia. Things are a bit more chaotic. You step into the shoes of Morgan Yu, a scientist who's stuck in the middle of an alien outbreak, and let me tell you, things get pretty intense. What makes this game stand out is how you approach every challenge. It's not just about blasting your way through enemies, though trust me, that can be a lot of fun too. There's a lot of freedom here. Whether you want to go in guns blazing, use your wits to sneak around, or even use the alien powers you can steal, the game lets you pick your own path. The aliens in this game, the Typhon, are a real treat to go up against. But what makes them so cool is that you can actually get some of their powers for yourself. Think about becoming a shape-shifting object or getting telekinetic abilities. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Exploration is huge. The Talos space station is massive, and every nook and cranny hides something interesting. Whether it's a hidden room full of supplies or a backstory about the station, the game rewards those who take the time to look around. It's not a linear path where you just follow the story and rush through. Nope, you'll be checking out different areas, solving puzzles, and finding new ways to interact with the environment. The crafting system is also a game changer. Ghost Recon Wildlands drops you right into a vast open world that's ready for you to explore. And I mean explore. This game takes place in Bolivia, where you'll be tackling missions across jungles, mountains, deserts, and cities, all in an attempt to take down the Santa Blanca cartel. The map is huge, and there's just so much to see and do. You can drive, fly, and even swim your way around, making each mission feel a bit like a mini adventure of its own. The gameplay is all about tactics, but in a way that lets you get creative with how you approach situations. You can go in guns blazing, or you can take your time, sneak around, and plan each move. There's a lot of freedom in how you want to tackle things. It's not just about shooting everything in sight. It's about choosing the right moments to strike, when to lay low, and how to work with your team for maximum impact. Speaking of the team, the game lets you go solo, but it really shines when you team up with others. You can play co-op with up to 4 players, which turns every mission into a tactical operation. You and your squad can plan your moves, coordinate attacks, or just mess around and see what happens. The game definitely pushes you to think about how you're going to work with your team, whether you're sneaking past enemies or taking out a base together. Customization is also a huge part of the experience. From weapons to gadgets to your character's skills, there's a ton of ways to make your loadout your own. Doom 4. If you're a fan of fast-paced action, brutal combat, and some of the most fun gameplay around, this one is a must-check out. Right from the start, it's clear that the game knows exactly what it wants to be. It's all about the fight, and nothing gets in the way of that. You're constantly on the move, dodging enemies, firing off your arsenal, and figuring out how to make those epic glory kills. There's no time to waste in this one, and that's what makes it so exciting. One thing that stands out here is how they've embraced the chaos. You're not hiding behind cover, slowly regenerating health, or worrying about ammo. This is about running into the fray and kicking some serious demon butt. It's fast, relentless, and honestly a ton of fun. You'll find yourself weaving between enemies, taking out groups with the most creative combinations of weapons. And the best part? There's always a new weapon or tool to keep things fresh. Whether it's the iconic shotgun or the powerful BFG, the game makes sure you never get bored with your loadout. The combat flows so smoothly, it almost feels like an extension of your reflexes. From the fluid movement to the satisfying impact of each shot, every encounter feels like a mini adrenaline rush. And then there's the glory kill mechanic, where you can execute enemies in the most satisfying ways when they're weak. It's a brutal system that rewards you with health pickups, keeping the action going and ensuring you never slow down. But what really makes this game shine is how it gives you freedom within that action. Black Myth Wukong. All right, let's talk about Black Myth Wukong. It's one of those games that really lets you get into the action, and it's got this dynamic combat system that's just fun. Like, you don't just swing around a weapon, you're learning how to use it in all these creative ways. You've got this magical staff that can shrink and grow depending on what you're doing, and it feels like there's always a new move or combo to try out. The staff is flexible, no pun intended, and it's one of those things that makes the combat feel fresh every time. And let's be real, if you're a fan of action RPGs, Black Myth Wukong has got your back. You're not just button mashing your way through enemies. There's actual strategy behind how you approach battles. You've got this little resource meter that fills up as you attack, dodge, or just keep your rhythm going, and when it's full, you get to unleash some heavy attacks. It's kind of like a reward system for staying on top of the action. Plus, the way the stamina works, you've got to manage it wisely. Too much sprinting or dodging, and you'll be caught out of breath right in the middle of a boss fight. And that's when things get tricky. Now, add in some magic, because why not? You've got these cool spells and transformations at your disposal, and no, we're not talking about the usual fireball type of magic here. You can shapeshift into all sorts of creatures, each with its own abilities and health pool. It keeps the gameplay interesting, and it's fun to switch things up depending on the situation. BioShock. This game isn't just about shooting stuff, though don't worry, there's plenty of that. It's about diving into a world that feels both alive and decayed at the same time. You're dropped into a city beneath the ocean, where everything's gone wrong, and you're left to figure out how to survive while navigating through some seriously twisted environments. The gameplay is a blast, mixing action with strategic thinking. You've got your weapons, of course, but then you also have these plasmids. Think of them like superpowers that add a whole new layer to how you handle situations. Want to zap someone with electricity, or maybe throw them across the room using telekinesis? The possibilities make combat feel fresh and exciting. What really stands out is how you can get creative with these abilities, combining them with your guns or the environment around you to make each encounter feel like a puzzle. And it's not just about action. The world you're exploring is packed with little stories and mysteries that keep you hooked. You'll come across audio logs, abandoned rooms, and bits of history that really flesh out the city's downfall. It's a game that invites you to explore, not just for loot, but to unravel the pieces of what's left behind. Plus, those moments when you find something new, they hit differently, like discovering a hidden treasure in a place that's falling apart at the seams. What makes it even more interesting is the moral choices. You're not just a passive observer. You get to shape the direction of the game. Helldivers 2 kicks off a whole new chapter for fans of co-op shooters. If you're a fan of teamwork, strategy, and a good mix of humor with intense action, this one's got your name written all over it. It's a game that makes you feel like you're part of an elite squad, where the pressure's on to defend Super Earth from a range of deadly alien species. The great thing? You'll be teaming up with your friends to take on these challenges, and the co-op action is where it really shines. The heart of this game is all about teamwork. You and your squad are out there trying to survive while fighting your way through a variety of crazy alien forces. It's one of those games where every mission can go sideways if you're not careful. The beauty of it is how strategy comes into play. From picking the right weapons to dropping in some sweet tactical stratagems like turrets or airstrikes, you really have to think on your feet. Every time you think you've got things under control, something unexpected happens, and that keeps things exciting. What really stands out is how the game keeps things fresh with procedural mission generation. No two missions are ever the same, so there's always something new around the corner. This keeps the action varied, and there's always that element of surprise. Add in some adjustable difficulty levels, and it's clear the game wants to make sure everyone from newcomers to veteran players can jump in and have a blast. And don't think you can just rush through things without a plan. There's a lot of friendly fire here. A Plague Tale: Innocence is a hidden gem in the world of action-adventure games, and it's got some serious heart. The game drops you into the middle of a super intense, plague-filled 14th century France. But it's not just about the setting, it's about Amicia and her little brother, Hugo, as they try to survive the chaos. The sibling dynamic? It's honestly one of the most touching things you'll see in a game. You're not out here swinging swords around or casting spells, though. This is all about stealth, strategy, and surviving a world that's out to get you. Picture this Amicia, with a slingshot in hand, sneaking around, trying to avoid enemies who are about as deadly as the environment itself. The game's stealth mechanics are on point. Taking out enemies isn't always the go-to, and sometimes it's just about staying out of sight. And let's talk about those rats. There are thousands of them at a time, and they're not just there to look creepy. They're actually a big part of the gameplay. They're your biggest threat, but also your best tool for solving puzzles. Imagine needing to clear a path by luring them to one spot while you dash through another. It's intense, but so satisfying when it all clicks together. Crafting plays a huge role too. Instead of the usual inventory system where you're just picking up random loot, here you're gathering materials to make items that help you stay alive. Want to distract guards? You've got sulfur stones for that. Titanfall 2 is a game that grabs you right from the start, and it doesn't let go. It's all about that rush of movement and the joy of just flowing through a world with such fluidity. You're not just running around, you're wall running, double jumping, and zipping across the landscape with so much style, you'll feel like a parkour master. The way it makes you move is unlike anything else in most shooters, where speed, precision, and agility come together in the best way possible. The game does an awesome job of combining being on foot with piloting these massive, powerful titans. You're not just stuck on the ground or only in these mechs, you get to do both. You'll be tearing it up in these giant robots, unleashing huge power, but then hopping out, scaling walls, and making the most out of your pilot's crazy mobility. It's that perfect blend of big, intense battles and quick, nimble action that keeps things feeling fresh. And let's not forget about the multiplayer. It's stacked with awesome modes and features that let you feel like you're always improving. It's fast-paced, competitive, and gives you plenty of ways to stand out with your own strategies. Whether you're a fan of working in close quarters or you prefer sniping from a distance, there's always something that fits your style. Plus, the Titans are a game changer in multiplayer too, adding that extra layer of chaos that makes each match feel unique. The campaign is where things really stand out though. It's more than just a string of missions. It's a ride. Middle-earth: Shadow of War. This one takes everything that made its predecessor so addictive and cranks it up to a whole new level. The combat is faster, the world is bigger, and the enemies, they're not just mindless grunts. Thanks to that incredibly deep nemesis system, every encounter feels personal, and no two battles play out the same way. One moment, there's an orc swearing vengeance. The next, it's turning into a full-blown rivalry that lasts for hours. The feeling of taking over strongholds and leading an entire army is where things really shine. Instead of being a lone warrior cutting through waves of enemies, it's all about commanding troops, planning strategic assaults, and watching a carefully built army grow stronger with every victory. The orcs under command aren't just faceless soldiers either. Each one has personality, strengths, and sometimes a little too much attitude. Upgrading skills and gear keeps the gameplay fresh, letting battles stay engaging no matter how far in things get. There's something satisfying about unlocking new abilities that make slicing through enemies even more fluid. Whether it's stealthy assassinations, brutal executions, or raining arrows from above, every fight plays out with a perfect mix of strategy and chaos. The world itself is a dangerous playground, full of different regions to explore. Every area has its own threats, opportunities, and of course, a never-ending supply of orcs ready to either join up or cause trouble. Skyrim, a game where you can pretty much do whatever you want. Want to fight dragons, explore vast forests, or maybe become a master thief? No one's stopping you. This is one of those games that drops you into a massive world and says, go ahead, make it your own. First off, the scale of this place is insane. It's a huge open world that feels alive, with mountains to climb, caves to explore, and cities that are bursting with people and sometimes dragons. You can literally walk for hours and find something new around every corner. Whether it's a hidden dungeon, a random person needing help, or a creature just looking for a fight. That sense of freedom is one of the best parts, honestly. You're not restricted to a set path. You could wake up one day and think, I'm gonna hunt down some dragons, and the game's like, sure, go for it. Or you can wander around and find a guild to join, like the Thieves Guild or the Dark Brotherhood. There's always something to dive into. Combat? Oh, it's solid. Whether you're slinging magic spells, swinging swords, or sneaking around with a bow, it's pretty satisfying. Every time you level up a skill, you feel a real difference. Want to be a stealthy assassin? Go for it. Or do you prefer charging in with a battle axe? Totally an option. There's no one way to play, and that's the beauty of it. Build your character however you want, and the game adapts. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 takes you on a wild ride through a world that feels as intense as it is immersive. It's not just a game, it's a journey that will have you on the edge of your seat, whether you're out battling fierce enemies or just soaking in the atmosphere. It doesn't just let you play, it pulls you right in. This one really stands out in the action genre with its unique blend of exploration, intense combat, and deep emotional storytelling. The combat system is brutal, yet satisfying. It's all about that fluid, in-your-face action that keeps you hooked from the first swing. You'll find yourself getting lost in the flow of it, feeling like you're in the middle of something epic no matter the situation. Each encounter can go from tense to explosive in a heartbeat, and there's something thrilling about mastering the moves and chaining attacks together. But what's more exciting is the game's commitment to making you think, not just react. There's a lot more to it than smashing buttons. Puzzle solving is key, and it feels rewarding to get into the rhythm of figuring things out. The challenges make you feel like you're truly a part of the world, especially when the stakes are high. It's that perfect balance of action and brain power that keeps you engaged without feeling overwhelmed. One thing this game does really well is creating a space where every decision, every action feels like it's pushing you forward in a meaningful way. The Witcher 3. There's something really special about the way it combines an epic, sprawling adventure with a world that feels alive in a way not many games manage to pull off. When it comes to the gameplay, it's all about the freedom. You're thrown into this huge world filled with so many different areas to explore. From the lush forests to war-torn villages, it's a place that feels lived in, and every corner has something interesting to offer. You can be doing one thing, like hunting down a vicious monster, and then get sidetracked by a side quest that has you investigating a strange creature terrorizing a town. Every quest feels important, even the smaller ones, and they all fit together to make the world feel connected. The combat, it's fast, fun, and versatile. Whether you prefer getting up close and personal with your swords or casting powerful magic to take down enemies from a distance, there's a combat style that suits everyone. It's not just about hacking and slashing, though. You'll need to be smart and think on your feet, using the right tactics for each enemy. It's the kind of game where you learn, adapt, and feel really satisfying as you start to master all the skills at your disposal. What's also awesome about this game is how much it makes your choices matter. Every decision, no matter how small, can have big consequences, and that adds a layer of tension and excitement. You're not just going through the motions, your actions shape how the world around you unfolds. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is one of those games that just feels right if you're a fan of action and adventure, but also love a deep story. You step into the shoes of a Jedi Padawan, navigating a galaxy full of danger, mystery, and of course, a bit of lightsaber action. What makes this game stand out is its perfect blend of exploration, puzzle solving, and combat. Whether you're climbing, running, or using the Force to uncover secrets, there's always something that keeps you engaged. The gameplay itself, it's fantastic. The combat is really satisfying, not just swinging a lightsaber around, but truly engaging in tactical, thoughtful fights. Every battle feels important, and using the Force to tip the scales is always a blast. The lightsaber combat feels fluid, and the way you can block and parry enemy attacks adds a layer of strategy. Plus, the game incorporates elements of exploration that keep things fresh. You'll be unlocking new abilities that let you revisit areas in new ways, which means there's always something new to discover. The progression system is solid too. You get to make choices on how to level up, from improving your lightsaber skills to mastering the Force. It gives you plenty of ways to tailor your play style, which is great if you like having some control over your character's development. You can choose to be a more offensive Jedi or go all in on defensive tactics. Just Cause 4. Just Cause 4 is all about fun chaos and pure adrenaline, set in the vast open world of Solus. The map is huge, and it's packed with all kinds of environments, from lush jungles to dry deserts and snowy mountains. No matter where you are, there's always something exciting to do. Whether you're gliding through the air on your wingsuit or blowing up a bunch of tanks with your grappling hook, you're in for a wild time. The main thing about this game is the sheer freedom it gives you. It's like a playground for destruction. Need to get across the map quickly? Just grab your wingsuit and soar through the air. Want to cause a little mayhem? Use your grappling hook to attach rockets to cars, or maybe just yank a helicopter out of the sky and take it for a spin. And if you're feeling particularly extra, there are tornadoes and sandstorms to shake things up, making everything more unpredictable and fun. The whole point is to do things your way. You can go full-on stealth and take down enemies quietly, or you can go loud and blow everything up with some seriously wild weapons. Speaking of weapons, the game offers a ton of cool stuff to play with. Some of the guns are pretty straightforward, but others are straight up wacky, like the wind gun that lets you control the air, or the lightning gun that zaps everything in sight. No matter what you're using, it's all about making the chaos as fun and stylish as possible. Final Fantasy VII. Rebirth picks up where the previous chapter left off, bringing players back into a vast world filled with adventure, danger, and a cast of characters who've become legends in the gaming world. From the get-go, it's clear this game is packed with excitement and fresh gameplay that keeps everything feeling dynamic. The combat in this installment is a blast. You've got that real-time action that keeps you on your toes, but with the added bonus of being able to switch between characters mid-fight. Whether you're hacking away with Cloud's sword or casting magic with Aerith, every battle feels like a full-on spectacle. The addition of synergistic moves between your party members adds a nice touch of strategy, turning even the smallest skirmish into something fun to plan for. It's a system that feels fresh, but still keeps that familiar vibe from the original game. You'll find yourself figuring out how to mix up attacks, adding that extra layer of depth. And speaking of layers, the world is massive. Forget linear paths, this is an open world where you can roam and explore at your own pace. From quaint villages to epic landscapes, there's always something to discover. Whether it's side quests or mini-games like the card game Queen's Blood, the world is just brimming with little details to keep you occupied. It's one of those games where you're as likely to get distracted by the world as you are to stick to the main story. Character development shines in this one, with the gang getting even more depth. Horizon Zero Dawn is like stepping into a world where nature and futuristic tech just click. Picture this, a vast, open world filled with towering mechanical creatures and lush landscapes, with Aloy as your fearless guide. You won't find any boring old robots here. These machines are like the apex predators of the future, each one with its own quirks, and you'll need to figure out how to deal with them. Some of these bots are big and bad, while others are sneaky and fast, so strategy becomes your best friend. As Aloy, you're not just hunting down these creatures though, let's be real, it's really fun to take them down with some precision archery. You'll also be exploring ancient ruins, collecting resources, and crafting some cool gear. Crafting is a huge part of this game. You'll be constantly on the lookout for materials to upgrade your weapons, build traps, or make sure you have the right ammo. It's all about thinking ahead, using your environment, and planning your next move. The combat system is one of those that feels simple enough for anyone to pick up, but deep enough to keep you on your toes. You'll quickly realize that blasting away doesn't always cut it. It's about learning your enemy, exploiting weaknesses, and using everything you've got at your disposal. Whether that's a well-placed trap, some explosive arrows, or just outsmarting the machines. The real fun comes from taking down a big machine that looks impossible at first, but with patience and strategy, you come out on top. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is an action-packed, narrative-driven experience that will have you feeling like part of the team from the very first moment. If you're into fun, dynamic gameplay with a sprinkle of chaos, this one's got you covered. From the get-go, you're in for a wild ride, playing as Star-Lord. But don't worry, you're not going solo here. The Guardians are right there with you, and they're just as important as your own character. Combat is a blast. Literally. You'll get to lead your team in intense battles, but instead of micromanaging everyone, you're mostly calling the shots and using their abilities at the right moments. It's all about timing, using your team's powers, and staying on your toes. You'll also get to explore some really cool environments, which is a nice change of pace from the usual corridor-style design. There's a lot of freedom to roam, and even if it's not totally open world, there's plenty of hidden things to find. Making each mission feel rewarding. You never know what might be waiting around the corner. Plus, you'll come across moments where you're not fighting, just chatting with the crew, and those interactions are a major highlight. The characters really come to life with some witty banter and heartfelt moments. You can tell there's a lot of care put into how they're written and how they all interact, which just makes the adventure feel more personal. The combat's definitely satisfying, especially once you start getting the hang of using everyone's abilities. Nier Automata. This one is a wild ride in the best possible way. It throws you straight into a chaotic, action-packed world and doesn't let go. The combat, fast, fluid, and stylish, with that perfect mix of hack and slash and strategic movement. Whether it's slicing through waves of enemies, dodging attacks like a pro, or using floating support units to rain down destruction, every encounter feels dynamic and satisfying. But here's where things get really interesting. Just when you think you've got the gameplay figured out, it shifts. One moment it's an intense third-person action game, the next it's a side-scrolling platformer, then suddenly it feels like a bullet hell shooter. Somehow it all blends seamlessly, keeping things fresh from start to finish. The world itself feels mysterious and inviting, encouraging exploration at every turn. Every location has something worth checking out, whether it's hidden challenges, unique enemies, or side stories that add layers to everything happening around you. Even the side quests have an unexpected depth, making them more than just simple tasks to check off a list. Then there's the whole structure of the game. This isn't a play it once and you're done kind of experience. Multiple playthroughs aren't just encouraged, they're essential. Every time you go through, things shift, new perspectives open up, and suddenly the story and world feel even more expansive. It's a game that rewards curiosity and experimentation in ways that most others don't even attempt.